You say you want it, but let's get real. You don't want it bad enough. You want to win, as long as it's easy. You want to rise, as long as you don't fall. You want the glory, but you don't want the grind. And that's the truth nobody's ever dared to say to your face. Because if you were truly hungry, you wouldn't hit snooze on your alarm. You'd destroy that button like it stood between you and your purpose. You wouldn't care who doubted you, because your hunger would drown out every voice but your own. You wouldn't be scrolling through life waiting for motivation. You'd be creating your own fire every single morning. You want to be great? You want to leave your name in history? You want your family, your people, your future kids to say, he didn't quit, she didn't fold. They broke every limit and rose above it all. Then you better start acting like you're starving. Not hungry, starving. Because hunger isn't a mood, it isn't a quote. It's a war. A war against comfort, a war against excuses, a war against the weaker version of yourself that keeps dragging you down. And here's what they won't tell you. The world doesn't care about your intention. The world doesn't pay attention to your dreams, only to your execution. You don't get points for thinking about grinding. You get points for bleeding through and smiling while you do. So what's your excuse? You're tired? You're broke? You're alone? Let me tell you something. No one cares. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to drag you up that mountain. You want it? Climb. Climb while it rains. Climb while they laugh. Climb while you scream, cry, crawl. But don't you dare stop. Because you said you wanted this. You said I would change my life. You said this is my year. And now look at you, still waiting for motivation like it's a handout. You aren't hungry enough. Because if you were, you'd be dangerous by now. You'd be unstoppable. They feel your presence before you even speak. Your work will speak louder than your voice. Do you know what hunger looks like? It looks like sacrificing sleep for vision. It looks like saying a no to fun so you can say yes to grow. It looks like dying to your old self so your future self can finally live. It's skipping comfort today so you can own the throne tomorrow. You keep watching winners online like they're guys. They're not. They're just hungrier than you. They're not more talented. They're not more gifted. They just refuse to settle. They buried excuses. They embraced the pain. They made friends with the fire, and they came out forged. So what about you? You still blaming people? Still waiting for the right time? Still thinking life owes you something? Wake up. If you're not obsessed, you're invisible. If you're not relentless, you're replaceable. And if you're not hungry, someone else is. Someone out there is training harder, learning faster, staying focused longer. And they're coming for what you say you want. This is your line in the sand right now. Today, you either rise or you ride in regret. So I ask you one last time, are you still dreaming or are you finally starving? And now, if you're truly ready to stop starving in your excuses and start feeding your legacy, I'm handing you 5 unstoppable weapons. Not just strategies, not just tips. These are mind-shifting, reality-bending principles that will make you untouchable in the face of failure. Live by these, and you'll never need motivation again. Hunger will become your natural state. 1, burn the bridge behind you. This is not just a strategy, this is war. This is the moment you eliminate retreat from your vocabulary. When you will burn the bridge, you're making a declaration to your soul. There is no going back. You're cutting off the comfort, the safety net, the easy escape. Because greatness doesn't live in options, it lives in obsession. Too many people fail because they always keep one foot in the past. They leave a backup plan open in case their dream gets hard. And guess what? It always gets hard. So they turn back. They retreat. They give up before they ever really begin. But when you burn the bridge behind you, you lock yourself into forward motion. You say, I don't care how long it takes. I'm not leaving this path until I win. Here's what warriors do when they land on the shores of battle. They set fire to the ships that brought them there. No retreat, no surrender, victory or nothing. Ask yourself right now, what bridge are you afraid to burn? Is it the approval of others? A toxic relationship? A dead-end job that's killing your soul slowly? Burn it, not recklessly, but relentlessly. Because every moment you spend looking back is a moment you're not building what's ahead. Your dream will not respect hesitation. Your legacy will not wait for you to feel ready. Burn the bridge, own the path, or stay trapped in the loop of maybe forever. When you burn the bridge, you don't become reckless, you become unstoppable. 2, turn pain into fuel. Pain is the fire that forges the strongest steel. It's the silent engine behind every success story you've ever heard. But here's the truth most people don't want to admit. Pain is inevitable. Life will hit you. Life will knock you down. Life will knock you down. Life will betray your trust and crush your dreams. It's not a question of if but when. What separates the winners from the losers is what they do with that pain. You have 2 choices when pain comes knocking. You can let it break you, or you can let it make you. Every scar you carry, every failure, every heartbreak, every moment you wanted to give up, that is fuel. It's fuel for your fire, but it only works if you harness it. Only if you decide that every hit you take will push you forward harder than ever before. Look at the greatest warriors, the legendary champions, the icons of history. They didn't glide through life untouched. They were battered, bruised, broken. What made them unstoppable wasn't the absence of pain, but the refusal to let pain control them. They took their suffering, their setbacks, and they poured it into relentless drive. Think about the Prophet Muhammad. Despite all the cruelty, rejection, and hardship he faced, he didn't collapse under the weight of his pain. Instead, he transformed it into unwavering determination, showing compassion and patience while relentlessly pursuing truth and justice. His story isn't just history. It's a blueprint for turning the hardest trials into the strongest fuel. So ask yourself, what pain are you carrying right now? What wounds are you hiding inside? Stop treating them as chains holding you back. Start using them as jet fuel blasting you forward. When the world knocks you down, don't stay down. Stand up stronger, fueled by the fire that pain lit inside you. The moment you stop feeding your hunger with your hurt, your fear with your fire, you become an unstoppable force of nature. Your pain stops being your enemy and becomes your secret weapon. This is the truth no one tells you. Pain must be embraced if you want to rise. Don't numb it. Don't hide from it. Don't waste it. Use it. Turn it into the energy that drives you past doubters, past every obstacle. Remember, diamonds form under pressure and empires rise from ashes. Your pain is the pressure. Your comeback is the empire. Let that pain burn through you, not against you. Harness it. Own it. Fuel your greatness with it. Turn pain into your fuel, and nothing in this world will ever stop you again. 3, make obsession your only religion. Let's get one thing straight. Nothing great in this life is built with balance. Nothing legendary is created with moderation. The mountains of success, the empires of greatness, the giants of legacy, all of them, every single one, were built by people who were possessed, obsessed, people who were so deeply consumed by their vision, they couldn't sleep. They didn't take breaks. They didn't care who understood them, who mocked them, who doubted them, or who walked away from them. Obsession isn't weakness, it's power. It's the engine that separates average from legendary. When you make obsession your only religion, you stop chasing 100 things and start mastering one. You stop asking for permission and start taking ground. You stop explaining your dreams and start building them. Because obsession isn't about talking, it's about doing. It's about being the last one standing in the gym, the first one up in the morning, the one still grinding when the world is partying. Why do most people fail? Because they're interested, not obsessed. They're curious, not committed. They flirt with ambition instead of marrying. But obsession doesn't let you flirt. Obsession demands everything. It grabs you by the soul and drags you through the fire until you're hardened like steel. It makes you bleed, it makes you weep, but it also makes you unbeatable. Look at the Prophet Muhammad. His mission wasn't a hobby. It was his obsession. It was his every breath, his every heartbeat, his every thought. Despite facing hatred, betrayal, exile, and war, he never stopped. He never doubted, never wavered. Why? Because he was obsessed with the mission given by Allah. That's not weakness. That's divine obsession with truth, purpose, and destiny. Obsession is the energy that made him rise before Fajr while the world slept. It's what kept him going when he stood alone. And it's what made his name echo in every corner of this planet, even 1400 plus years later. When you make obsession your religion, you don't need motivation anymore. You don't need approval. You don't care about trends or about excuses. You move like a storm, focused, relentless, and unapologetic. Your life becomes a sermon, a thunderous message that screams, I am here for something divine and nothing will stop me. So what's your obsession? Is it your vision, your dream, your purpose, your legacy? Then stop treating it like a side project and start bowing into it like it's sacred. Build your life around. Make sacrifices for it. Pray for it. Fight for it. Die for it. Because when you live obsessed with purpose, with intensity, and with full faith, you become untouchable. No enemy can derail you. No distraction can seduce you. No failure can break you. Why? Because obsession burns hotter than fear, stronger than doubt, louder than critics. Obsession is your edge, your armor, your superpower. So stop apologizing for it. Stop downplaying it. Embrace it. Let it devour your laziness. Let it kill your distraction. Let it raise you from the dust into something unshakable. If you truly want to rise, succeed, dominate, then obsession is no longer an option. It's your religion. 4, destroy the comfort zone ritual. Let me be brutally honest with you. Comfort is the silent killer of greatness. It's the soft pillow that rocks you into mediocrity. It's the daily ritual of doing just enough, saying, I'll start tomorrow, scrolling through your feed while your dreams rot in the background. You want to dominate. You want to rise to the top? Then you better start treating comfort like the enemy. Every single person who has ever done something legendary, every savage who built empires from dust, did it in discomfort. They didn't wait for the perfect move. They didn't ask how they felt. They didn't need a vibe. They got up. They showed up and they bled through every obstacle in front of them. The comfort zone isn't a place. It's a drug. And most people are addicted to warmth, to routine, to security, to validation. You've been living the same day over and over, convincing yourself that you're working on it when really you're just surviving. You wake up, do what's familiar, and go to sleep slightly more disappointed in yourself than the day before. Let me tell you something that'll burn. If your daily habits feel easy, then your future will be hard. But if you're willing to suffer now, if you're willing to do the things that make you sweat, that make you scared, that make you feel like you're on the edge, then your future will bow to you. Burn your excuses. Wake up earlier than everyone else. Train when your body says a no. Learn when your brain is tired. Build when no one's clapping. This is what it takes to break out of the comfort zone ritual. Because once you destroy that cycle, once you teach yourself to crave challenge like others crave comfort, you become a different animal. And that animal doesn't wait. That animal builds. That animal builds. So if you're serious, if you're really hungry, then say goodbye to easy. Destroy the comfort zone and become something no one saw coming. Because legends don't come from safety, they rise from the fire. 5, rise in silence, dominate in noise. You don't need to be seen every second. You don't need to tell everyone what you're doing. You need to be deadly in the dark and let your presence make the noise when the time is right. You see, the hungriest beasts in the jungle don't roar while they're starving. They stalk, they watch, they prepare, and when they strike, it's final, it's brutal, it's undeniable. That's who you need to become. Silence is power. Silence is preparation. Silence is a weapon. But most of you can't stop talking. You want credit for work you haven't done. You want applause for a path you haven't even started walking. You post your goals online and expect them to come true just because people liked it. You talk about grinding but won't get up at 5 a.m. You talk about building empires but won't sacrifice comfort. You talk too damn much. Let me ask you this. Why are you sharing your dreams with people who are asleep themselves? Why are you begging for validation from the same crowd that laughed at others before they made it? The real ones don't speak. They bleed. They go to war in silence. While the rest are chasing views, likes, and shallow praise, you lock in. No status updates, no announcements, just darkness, just focus, just work. Because what they don't see, they can't stop. What they don't hear, they can't sabotage. And what they can't predict with, can't compete with. This is how killers are made. In cold silence, away from the noise, away from the spotlight. Away from the fragile ego that needs attention to feel worthy. You don't need motivation. You need obsession. You need to fall in love with being unseen. Because in the dark, there's no one clapping, no one watching, just you vs. you. That's where greatness is born. That's where you become unstoppable. And when the time comes, when you're ready, then you dominate. Then you make noise, but not with your mouth, with your results. Your presence will speak louder than any caption. Your power will echo louder than any speech. You walk into the room and they feel it, not because you say anything, but because your work screams for you. The loudest one in the room is never the strongest. The quiet one, that's the storm brewing. That's the fire you didn't see coming. That's the ghost who worked in the shadows and now owns the stage. So stop needing praise. Stop exposing your process. Be dangerous in the dark. Build your empire behind closed doors. And when the world least expects it, arrive like thunder, rise in silence. Dominate in noise. Make them regret ever overlooking you. Let me make this real clear, so even the excuses inside your head can't talk back. You say you're tired? Good. Be tired and still do it. You say it's hard? Good. It's supposed to be. If it were easy, every weak-willed quitter would already be living your dream. But let me tell you something. Your hunger is your power. Your hunger is the engine that turns impossible into done. Your hunger is the voice that whispers one more set, one more rep, one more try. And if you don't have that voice screaming in your soul every single day, then you ain't ready. You're not being denied. You're just not obsessed enough. You keep looking at people who made it, thinking they were lucky. No, they were hungry. They were desperate. They made a decision to become someone unstoppable. They buried their excuses, burned their comfort zone, and went to war with every limitation. And here's the truth no one wants to say. Your dream is not waiting on resources. Your dream is waiting on a version of you that's willing to die for it. You don't need another motivational quote. You need to sacrifice comfort. You don't need another plan. You need war in your blood and fire in your gut. You don't need more time. You need to stop wasting what you already have. Your future is being built right now by what you do when you're tired, when no one's watching, when your mind says quit and your heart says more. This ain't a game. This ain't for show. This is your legacy, your family's future. Your name carved into history or forgotten in dust. So here's what I want from you. I want rage. I want obsession. I want pain turned into power. I want you to stop whining and start running like there's fire on your back and glory in your lungs. You think lions care about opinions? You think warriors check notifications? You think beasts ask permission? No, they move, they hunt, they conquer. So if you're not hungry enough to go through the pain, to crawl through the mud, to bleed and fight for every inch, then don't lie to yourself. Because real hunger doesn't need applause. Real hunger doesn't wait for conditions to be perfect. Real hunger wakes up angry. It trains when it's exhausted. It shows up after failure. It shouts to bring more in when the world says, you've had enough. You want that dream? You want that body, that business, that freedom, that life? You better hurt for it. You better break for it. You better burn for it. Because if you don't, someone else will. And they'll take what was meant to be yours. So listen to me right now. You either get hungry or you get left behind. No more games, no more delays, no more halfway. Burn the bridge. Torch the doubts. Turn your pain into rocket fuel. Make obsession your air. Destroy the comfort zone with bare hand. And when the silence ends, dominate the noise. You are not average. You are not weak. You were not made to blend in. You were born to rise, born to fight, born to win. So stop thinking about it. Stop bleeding for it. Start living like your life depends on it. Because it does.